do that. Hi, everybody.
Oh man, that song was grooving.
Don't
It was grooving.
don't do that.
That's a good song, baby. Who
Okay.
made that?
My cousin, the Will Fuller, out of Los Angeles, California. Anyway, hey everybody, we are here for Marriage Madness tonight. Come on, let me see it. Show y'all the picture. Marriage Madness for the month of August, y'all. We are doing Marriage Madness all the month of August and connecting and chatting with some of our favorite people. And some people that, we may not know too well, but we're going to talk all things marriage because guess what? We're getting ready for. Are we in the Matrix?
You're ghosting, babe. Is you with your wig real today?
What are we getting ready? Come on, what are we getting ready for?
We're getting ready for our annual getaway in October. This year's is Legacy of Love.
And we have a pretty special couple that's coming on right now who is filled with legacy of love. Because every picture they take, let me just help y'all. None other than, don't bring them on yet, but we just going to say, we're going to show y'all. I said, don't bring them on. You're not supposed to bring them on. Thank you. Look, I just want, you can bring them on. Our brother and sister in the Lord.
Wait. You talking to Yolanda like you got you a director.
She is my sister director.
We got a professional director.
She is professional.
She's just your best friend back there pressing the button.
This is my sister. Come on. Okay. This amazing couple, none other than our brother and sister, pastors Tim and Kelli Howard. Woo! You didn't make no noise.
Tim, did you know that you were a social media star?
No, man. Man.
I know you're not even on social media.
Yes, he is undercover.
Not like that.
A little bit.
I'm on there, but
he's learning.
He's on there when he has to say happy anniversary to the love of his life.
Exactly.
Happy birthday.
That was his first post ever.
That was the first post you saw. Pastor Tim be stalking. I don't like that.
That's the only one.
Okay. Well, anyway, welcome you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, that song had me going. I was dancing.
Yeah. And I felt like I was being interviewed by, like he was out of New York or something.
Oh, come through.
Yeah. I felt like I had made it to the big time.
Prophesy.
Right.
Anyway, let me just say this. I want y'all to relax. This is our kick it people. We sneak away and we kick it, right? And we kick it in Corvettes. I said it. They have them.
Sometimes you get to drive, but you get to drive west. I don't drive Tim's. I've seen it.
Why not? What,
it's a stick shift. I'm not going. No.
Wait, back it up. You been driving my car?
No.
I thought you
out of the Matrix.
Where y'all been going?
Huh?
Where have y'all been going?
Nowhere. In the car, we haven't been anywhere.
Okay.
Lately. We're waiting on y'all. Right.
I've left
messages. West, the retired, general.
He did retire.
I did.
How does it feel?
Like I don't have a job. Anybody hiring out there?
Let me tell y'all. The school might be hiring. They did just put up a post.
Yeah, certified teachers.
They looking for certified teachers. Pastor Tim and Kelli Howard, shameless plug. What's the name of the school?
Community Youth Development Institute.
Come on.
Located 7836 South Union, Chicago.
Okay, this is Nisha's network, you guys, so we can put that in there right now.
You are
a certified teacher, huh?
We've made some inquiries on Indeed, so you can go on there and look. There's some information on there in regards to positions that's available at the school.
Okay. Shameless plug. All right. Y'all got it in where we can fit it in. All right. So we're here to talk about marriage. But if you need a job, contact them. You need a job?
I do. You need somebody to sweep up around there, pull the garbage. I'm your man.
Well, let's say we're going to talk about and leadership. And what better couple to talk about it than the couple that brings hope to the city? Come on through, Hope City. They bring hope to the city.
All right.
They are pastors of New Joy Divine, but I won't introduce them. I'll let them introduce themselves and say how long they've been married, how many children, where they're located, and all the things Tim and Kelli Howard. So we'll do that intro first. We started off with just how we talk regular. So now this is formal.
Yeah.
Okay. Introduce yourselves, everybody. I mean, you guys.
I'm Tim. This is Kelli.
Uh-huh.
We'll be married this coming November, 32 years. Us with 5 children. We have a business together. We have kids together. I'm the only daddy, right? I think so.
I can tell you something. Maury Povich.
You are nothing.
Come on now.
So we're the pastors of New Joy Divine Church, aka Hope City, Chicago, for 9 years. I have a business, Wardrobe and a Word. That's almost 2 years old. And then For Your Image Salon and Suites is about 27 years old. So yeah, we've been doing entrepreneurship for a long, long time.
And how long have we been friends?
Since the first conference. So that is our first conference. Is it 6 or 7?
Since 2015. I looked it up.
You did?
So 7
years.
2015.
So I have a question for you, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, not Kelli. Tim. Let me ask you this: before you came, what did you think? What did you think was going to happen? What were your thoughts, or were you just coming because Kelli was dragging you there? Tell me what you thought before and after.
No, I think it was we were both of us so we wanted to kind of get away and try something different. And we heard through Evisha told us about the conference, and we was just want to sit in the back and just enjoy. So that's how we heard about the conference.
Just wanted to sit in the back.
And we've been coming
back. Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
That didn't work out too good. No, we haven't sat in the back in 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, but can I interject on that?
Yes, please. Okay.
So the marriage conferences we have been to before, you have classes. I always say that you guys are the most transparent ministry I've ever seen. So maybe some of the things seemed the same, but the outcome was different. It was real talk, like we got divorced or we were going to get divorced, and how God rescued and healed and things like that. I think every year, even what's the first part we do? 12 o'clock.
Circle of Trust.
Circle of Trust is amazing. So a lot of times you try to just get to, how we pick and choose. I've been to a lot of conferences. So you've been speaking, I'll go to that and I don't have to go to this. This conference, you want to be from the beginning to the absolute end. And it's been times we missed the Circle of Trust. It was times that we missed Sunday. But all of it, when I say last year, Sunday was unbelievable. God met us and we started to minister. So it's from the beginning to the end. And the Circle of Trust is, I don't know. It's I think you guys take, like, we're not speakers, right? You take just the regular old people and put them up front and say, hey, tell your story. And I think that's what's so amazing, because how can I say it? We're not eloquent of speech, right? It's coming from the heart. And so it reaches the heart. And this conference, I know I'm probably getting out of going too early, but this conference is a must for us. There's nothing else we do every year other than Christmas and stuff like that. But this conference is on our schedule every year. It's a must. It's not optional. I've heard people say, oh, it's expensive, but so is gas.
Okay.
So it's food. I mean, everything's up. So, this is not optional. This is a must. And it has added to our marriage, to our lives, to our children, to the generations. My mom knows your mom. My kids know your kids, and
Legacy.
it's legacy. Legacy.
That's the
And
absolute.
it's
Go ahead.
it definitely has um, the mindset of kingdom. You know, if you was
Right.
just thinking about your group of people, I mean, it's real easy to pull everything you need from your own family,
Right.
from your own churches, but you create a platform where you can use other people, which is that's what God wants. You know, you do have, so we see it as a kingdom ministry. You're giving ordinary people a chance to speak.
That's so good. I'm so glad you
We
said
weren't looking for that. We weren't looking to
We
speak
weren't right.
at all. Like that was nothing that, you know, we was trying to solicit to do. You know, we just wanted to come and relax and glean what we could.
I'm glad you said that because I thought about the message and I think we brought it up in a meeting last week or something like that. I can't remember that yeah, it was in a meeting and we were talking about how when you all were preaching last year, how you talked about how, sometimes it's hard to be second and come and sit, and just glean. And so we say that because I believe you said that because there's a lot of pastors and leaders that come and they're used to being up in the forefront. And not that we would make everybody on the forefront, because one thing that was important is like you need real people like yourselves to tell real stories. Because when Pastor Tim and Kelly, when they get to speaking, they just tell the whole raw truth. The whole thing. Like if the slip was hanging,
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
right. If the slip was hanging, she gonna tell it. If the car broke down, they gonna tell it. And I love that because it's like, that's just what people need, real people to reach the lost. You know what I mean? You don't need people for hope for the city. You need to know that you came from a place where you may have needed hope and still need it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about marriage and leadership a little bit and just ask you all a question. How do you stay intentional about shepherding a church and then also being intentional about your marriage? So being strong in leadership, but also being intentional in your about your marriage. Because I know in the beginning, a lot of pastors don't like to go anywhere where their members are going to be found because they want to just hide away. But your leadership speaks volumes, not because you invited them the first year, but because you said they can't miss out on something like this and the fellowship. So let's just talk about a little bit about that. How are you all intentional about marriage and leadership?
I think marriage was definitely a part of our upbringing as far as, again, legacy. We've had CME, Christian Marriage Enrichment Ministries at our church, and it's been very influential for a lot of our marriages to be successful. And so we've always had that kind of pedigree to understand that that's important. But then also we start to expand it to go outside. We've done conferences before, and then just being able to connect with other people. Um, and it also teaches us to not just rely on the people that you have a relationship with in your church, that you can expand by going um, um, to Heart Life Ministries to network with other couples. And that's one of the things that's been something that we taught, and then having a genuine relationship of what marriage looked like, and it was easy for those individuals to follow us into doing, the Heart Life Ministry. So I think having that type of influence, because we were able to talk to them, so you could jump in.
Right. Yeah, at first we were not per se being selfish. I think the first year we were going to see.
Years.
No, we were going to look. And we fell in love. We said, well, one more time. Let's see if this is really love.
Before we say anything.
Yeah.
You're not gonna tell your family yet.
Yeah.
Right.
You fell in love with somebody. You're not gonna tell them.
You fell in love. But, with the ministry, they have fallen in love. And like Pastor Tim says, it's not all about, and I think sometimes it's church related. It's only our church and this is what we do. And I think because we've gone out, we've gotten stronger. I think that not only is it the word, but it's the relationships with other couples. You have couples minister to other couples and they have a connection. Sometimes people say, oh yeah, I talked to the Franklins. I said, you did? or the Joel occurs or something. They fell in love right away.
Sure.
And sometimes it's a connection because of the honesty, some of the things that they've been through, I've been through, and you got through it. How did you get through it? I don't remember the question. I don't remember the question, but I'm just going off of what
Go off what you want to do, girl.
I said. I wonder what the question is. I'm 54, so sometimes the way this thing works. But anyway, back to marriage is forefront. You can't have a good ministry without a good marriage. And some people talk about having a mega ministry and a storefront marriage. So I can't fake like I like him and minister to you. Come on. I can't. I like him. There are times that we're challenged, but we're on the same team. There's no time to be fussing. We got to get it together. So yeah, somebody might say, well, you got to, I said this to a person. I said, maybe our church is not big, but what about our marriages being big and our families being big? What about that?
Yeah, and love.
Right.
That's mega
Love.
love.
We're talking about reconciliation, forgiving quickly, right? We're learning that together. Because I think about those people that have gotten divorces. They didn't know the impact it made on people that they don't even know that was watching them. Not just your family,
Yeah.
So I'm out here. This is not fake for me. This is real.
Yeah.
This is real. I like him for real. And I told him, we've been talking. I think that for people to think that at first year and 30 years going to be the same, that's just like, it couldn't be the same. We grow. But we've been talking about growing gracefully together and not growing apart. Because I grow, he grows. We need to grow together, right? Grow gracefully. I want to be 70-something years old. And I told you, be a real lobster. We don't have to talk. Just look at me. Just look at me. Just grow. He just be looking like, But I want to grow gracefully. Sometimes I'm not seeing couples grow gracefully.
Yeah.
We're together, and people get divorced at 30 years. Like, they've been together all this time, but they weren't together for 20 years.
Right.
That is the truth right there. They didn't like each other at year 5.
They didn't. And I'm gonna do it for the kids. I'm gonna do it for whatever. Save face. So I'm trying to intentionally get better. Having real conversations. Real conversations hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
It'll make a change.
I think you push the growth as well. I think if both parties, the husband and the wife is pushing each other, then you will grow. But there's no growth if you don't push. There's no growing. Absolutely. And I think we challenge each other by pushing each other. I want her to be great at what she does, and I think vice versa is that you have to be pushed, and then being able to have those genuine conversations. You cannot, young folks, whoever's listening today, you cannot be in a relationship if you don't have a voice.
That is the truth. That is true. I think this year it's really, really, really hit me, and that's why we came up with that legacy, because what you guys are saying is the absolute truth, and if we are that example, especially for our own children, let alone church members, the people we work with, our neighbors, the kid who we don't even think is paying attention to us, but they hang out at your house and you don't realize you are the example of a good, healthy relationship, and possibly the only one that they need. They're going to grow up and model that when they get married,
Sure.
and you just living your life. You're not even paying attention to it, but they're watching. That's why that word legacy is so important. That's why we're really going to talk about it this year. Because last year at the retreat, that's why legacy came to me. We looked around and our kids were doing it. Our grown adult kids,
even y'all kids.
Well, I say our, I mean us.
Yeah.
All 4 of us. And then we had some other really long time friends, and their kids were up there. And then kids that my kids grew up with and did youth church with, I'm like, wow, this is really saying something about this next generation. So that's why we're going to harp on legacy. and the importance of it, because it's important that we are that good example, and it does matter. It does matter. Our
Yes.
relationship does matter. It matters how we conduct ourselves. It matters that we make an effort to make it a healthy one, and not just say, "Oh, we're just sticking together for the kids." You know what happens when you say we're going to stay together for the kids? You know what happens to the kids? They get their pleasure or the opportunity to watch a terrible relationship all their childhood lives.
It's true.
Come
What?
on.
So what are they going to do? They're either going to do one or two things. They're either going to go out there, get married, and repeat the same thing because that's
Right.
all they've seen,
Right.
have showed them nothing different,
Right.
or they may choose just like, you know what,
I ain't
if
never.
that's what marriage is about, I don't want I don't want any parts of it.
Right.
So to stay together just for the sake of the kids, you actually doing the kids more harm.
Right.
Sure.
And we always kind of make this analogy is like if your kids were out there in the street and there was a semi truck coming, it's like, would you dive out in that street and push them out of the way? Would you even think twice about it? And, most parents like, no. It's like, so if you're willing to die for your child, how much easier is it to live for them and live a life of Christ and have a healthy marriage for them so they can have good examples of how to live and how to raise and how to be a good husband and a good wife. And if you don't have it, then you should learn it. And if you really are struggling, then get somebody else in there. That's where we come along and we come aside you. We can
Right.
show you how to have a healthy marriage.
Right.
You know, if you're an adult and you have adult children that are married, bring them. Bring
Yes.
them. You can
Yes.
do this thing together. Because what will happen is you will start a generational curse that will just keep continuing and continuing and continuing. I mean, we know families where the grandmas got divorced, the
Right.
parents got divorced, the kids
Right.
get married, they get divorced, and that cycle just never ends.
Right.
So it is important.
We do create legacy, though, Wes.
Yes.
We have in our culture for a long time of not getting married.
Mm.
So we're breaking that legacy to be married. Because I'll live an example of it. My mom never got married. Her sisters they never got married. The nieces never got married. That was female. So I start to see that as an adult. Once I start to follow in the principles of God, I'm like, hold on for a minute. So I had to do some things that was different than what I saw in order to get the legacy to go the right way. So that was important.
I think that the men, Kelly, need to do their own show, don't you?
They're doing a great job. They're doing a great job.
Look, West need to have a We Work West or West
Right.
We Work. Or
Where's worship be
let me back in here. Look, I'm just laughing at that because he always say, well, never mind what he says. But anyway, very grateful for this conversation. I thought about something that is really encouraging, and you guys were able to get away on a little vacation to the Cancun. And then it wasn't well what you expected. And then God allowed you to have a
A
do-over.
redo.
Yeah. So I want y'all to talk about God giving you second chances.
Again,
And we put our phones away.
we did. I have to tell my wife that quite often. That's why she's got a crick. Have a
That's
crick.
a fact.
What they call it? Crick, whatever's in her neck. That's why that phone and all. Anyway, but it was
Real. REAL. Come on through. Okay, go ahead, Pastor Tim.
anyway. God blessed us. We had to postpone some things this year because of something that was happening. Mom got sick, and then my mom made a transition to be with the Lord, and then so we had to cancel some trips. But God allowed us to carry on a few months later to go to Cancun. We went to Cancun. We had an experience it wasn't as great as we would have liked it to be, and both of us probably we wasn't feeling well, and so the trip was not as enjoyable as we would have liked. So we came back home and realized we tested positive for COVID. We had to deal with that. Fast forward, probably a week and a half later, get a phone call from a friend of mine and said we got a trip that was already paid for at 7-day all-inclusive trip. All you need to do is pay for your plane ticket. And you know, my wife, she was on it. And
Yeah, me too.
And the good thing about that is everything, we saw how God elevated us, not just from the same type of trip we had. When God do a do-over, he don't give you the same blessing that he gave you. He gave us an upgrade along with blessing us again. I mean, God is so efficient that he upgraded the blessing.
Wow.
He was already blessing us, but he upgraded it.
Come on through.
So, to a better resort, to better food. We overlooking the ocean for breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning with a young lady playing a saxophone. At
Come
9
through. Okay.
I had a tear in my eye. I said, Lord, you did it. But you know, it's such a blessing. We've been talking about do-over. You got to be ready, though. It was all expense paid, but you still had to pay for your ticket. You got to be ready for the blessing. And so sometimes the houses, the cars, things are going to come. You still got to be ready. Come on. He said he was nervous. He said, well, maybe we shouldn't ask them because they passed this and they can't take off. Listen, don't worry about none of that.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about that. We'll handle that. And it's honestly, it was.
We had enough friends. We bought Nisha West. We bought two.
Right.
We bought 200.
Yeah, we would have loaned you too. Come on through.
Yeah.
Right.
But sometimes we miss our blessings because we said it's last minute. And I believe that in this season, God is going to open doors in the last minute.
Yeah.
Where you have a house that may be worth $300,000. He said, I'm going to give it to you for $150,000. Can you
Come
go
on.
get it? When if a car is worth $30,000, can you give me 10? I believe that God is going to move in the last minute. And will we be ready when he comes?
It's only last minute when you don't want to do it. See, I want to go to Cancun. So when that wasn't last minute, that was right on time. He may not come when you want him. But see, when you don't want to do it, he said, well, can you sing that song? You should have told me earlier. I could have. Now, it's just last minute when you don't want to do it.
That is so good.
That is the truth. When opportunity meets preparation, you will have success every time.
There you go. And it was such a God thing because we could have went to Jamaica or Aruba or even Paris, but to go back where you were and have a better time was just absolutely amazing.
That's saying something.
That's really great. Well, I'm really grateful for you guys, your friendship, your brother and sisterhood to us, and just the real raw truth of how we could just be regular and not have to have any superficialism. And I said that to some mutual pastors, like friends, the new friends or whatever, because I really think that people need real in this day and time. And I just thank God for you all's genuine authenticity. There's nobody like you. And what I also love is that y'all come in and love the people we love, and we love the people y'all love. And that is such a huge blessing because, people roll in circles, and Wes always says I have FOMO, fear of missing out. So don't think I wasn't trying to think how I could have been in the Cancun. I was like, how come I couldn't go with them to the game? Anyway, I got fear of missing out sometimes, but that's okay because you can celebrate and rejoice with them that rejoice and just enjoy life and know that when you connect, it is God's connection. But most importantly, that you all take the time to actually invest in each other's lives. And we can be transparent to the point where we say, hey, what's getting on my nerves, or what's through my phone because he said I was on it too much. You have thrown my phone. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
He tossed it, Wes.
He tossed it to the side. He grabbed my phone out. He broke a wall. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, the point is that, being able to reel each other back and say, hey, what's most important? Not just about, everything and everybody else. If we're together, then everything else should flow in line. If the head is on straight, Wes said he's the head, we're the necks. So
and my neck hurts. So what does that say?
What does that mean?
Well, you explain it. You say it all the time.
I only say it because we may be the head, but they're the neck, so they just turn us whichever way they want. If they're good. If they're good.
Well,
that's something that you learn over time.
Turn your neck. Turn your head.
Whenever you say it.
That's
They
good.
came on, come on, airplane tickets. She turned that head then, didn't she? Okay, but
Right.
anyway.
Quick.
Okay.
So,
But anyway, but thank you all so much for just sharing your hearts, and thank you for being a very intricate part and support and partnership with Heart Life Ministries. We are not a church, and we fellowship with other churches and ministries and pastors and leaders, and we just are blessed. I love too, and I'm gonna say this, and then we'll get ready to close out. Is that you all have been to minister other places. You've met different people. You've connected with different people, your children, from business opportunities to, just really even the connections. To me, that's how God does things. He's the big network
Yeah.
that makes the net worth so valuable, and I just love that. So, any last encouraging words? We're promoting the marriage getaway, you all, but we wanted to just talk to our friends, and what better way to spend a Monday night than to come hang out with the Howards, hanging with the Howards.
I want to say really quick is that you guys saw something in us that we didn't see. And yes, I've been minister for 25 years, my husband for 27, 28 years. But we are ministered together like we do at Heart Life. And we thank you for seeing that. We never saw that. And it is something that happens there. Not that it can't happen anywhere else, but it is something that happens there that is a God thing. And people are looking for it other places, but God has it there. You guys saw it. God allowed you to see it. And I don't know. Because what happens, even when tag team, and it's great, but when we talk about marriage, it's different. And people want to see that it is something about Heart Life and that ministry and what they have imparted in our lives that it just happens that it won't happen somewhere else, right? Because God is omnipresent. It hasn't, but that's where we're supposed to be. And so we thank God that you guys open up something. And our kids be like, man, I ain't never seen y'all do that before, because it's a God thing and we're in the right place at the right time. It's a safe place. It's the right place. It's a growing place. It's a loving. It's our place. It's our place, our people. This is not, listen, and this is a young relationship. This is only 5 years.
Yeah.
People have been friends for 30 years have not experienced what we've experienced with you guys.
Right. True.
We have been 7. Well, we met them 7, then we really get okay. So 7 years. We've been friends. We've been friends for 7 years. The point is, I've laid on their couch. We talk real talk. Nisha can. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's not always juices and berries. It's just a love thing. And so we thank God for this, and that's why you see hope in this. That's why.
Let me tell you what about that Hope in the City. Hope in the City, Pastor Tim and Kelly are closing out the marriage getaway this year. New Joy Divine, Hope City is closing out the marriage getaway. Their team, their family, their kids, their legacy is closing out, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. So you don't want to miss it. Sunday, October 23rd. That's the last day, but you all need to come and hang out for the whole weekend. It's just going to be a phenomenal weekend. HLM Getaway 2022 is going to be epic this year.
You ain't never been to this conference. You ain't never been
to a conference, but you have
been to this conference. The Howards are going to bring the hurricane, the Holy Ghost hurricane. I don't know. I just made that up real quick. In West Price says corny.
You like, huh? Okay. West left the building. He left.
Say it again, right?
The Howard's gonna bring the Holy Ghost hurricane.
Y'all better have your t-shirts made with that on there.
Right.
The H, triple H. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for doing this tonight.
Thank y'all.
If y'all love watching, y'all share this and share. You can go to YouTube and subscribe to Nisha's Network on the YouTube channel. And y'all can share this and just enjoy laughter together. And we are going to have a men's segment where Nisha's Network is taken over by the men, because clearly they have a lot.
Clearly, they can do it.
We do, and we do talk about our stuff. That's why we have barbershop talk and married men's breakfast.
Okay. All right then. All right. Love y'all so much.
Love
Thank
you
you.
too. Thank
We
you. Good
will
Have a good
talk.
night.
night.
Y'all hang tight. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. I can't remember the couple that's coming to hang out with us tomorrow, but stay tuned. 8-ish. I'm not going to even say 8 p.m. Central. 8-ish. We love the Lord and we love technology. All right. Until next time, you guys.